Hey everyone, we're back here in another Basic Bogeys episode. We got a guest co-host here tonight. We have John Kelly, the bumbling golfer, joining us from Philly. Welcome, John.
Go Phils, go Birds. Gary, you're really missing out here, buddy. Thank you for hitting me up, dude. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for stepping in here at last minute. This has all happened in the last 30, 40 minutes here. John stepped in to fill the shoes here, but we've got a company on joining us today, a company I'm sure you've kind of seen something about. They're growing very quickly. We have Par Bar coming on. We have protein bars. So we have the two owners and founders here with us tonight. We have George and Jake. Welcome, guys. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Just give us a little bit of a background about both of yourselves here to get it started.
Go ahead, George.
Yeah. So we are a Par Bar Protein about, I want to call it 45 days into launch, hitting the market hard. We are a healthy protein bar alternative made for golfers, athletes, and general fitness industry. So Jake and I, we're kind of lifelong friends. We've known each other since we were 8 years old, been playing baseball together. Both grew up as athletes, like I said, and then kind of got into the golf scene as most 18 to 75-year-olds during COVID, post-COVID. And we kind of, it was mainly Jake came to me with this idea, and I'll let him share a little bit about his background. But there's really not like too many healthy options right now on the golf course. I mean, you're at the turn, you're checking in, you got a hot dog, Skittles, Snickers. Actually, like a quick funny side story, when me and Jake were getting into golf, we booked like this atrocious tee time at like 7 a.m. And this guy pulls up in a cart. He just finished his first 9. And he goes to the snack bar, and she's like, "Oh, what can I get you? Like, want a coffee or anything?" And he's like, "No, let me just get 3 Snickers and a Monster." And he just like peeled off. So like that was in a way kind of like maybe where Jake got that initial spark and idea. But we try to really build something that was healthy, but also build a brand, a logo, and kind of like a culture that the consumer can really connect with. So hence, as you can see there, that awesome packaging that TJ held up, kind of just draws in the consumer's eye, gets you interested, kind of what is this? And we really focused on making a bar that was super clean. You know, we're gluten-free, non-GMO, no preservatives, no seed oils, really, really good and strong macros. And, you know, aside from golf, we've been getting a lot of love and customer, retention and acquisition from the fitness industry, which has been great. So it's been awesome to see the product scale up. And then Jake, what else you want to add? What else you got?
Yeah, no, I mean, you hit it pretty well. But healthy alternative for golfers. I don't think there's a ton of competition in that field. And I think we're doing our best to come with like a loud, fun approach. I think for a long time, golf itself was, at least for me, like I didn't play golf until, I joined the corporate America world. That's my after college, just kind of what got me into golf. But growing up, golf was foreign for me. It was like, I always thought it was kind of boring. But obviously that's changed a ton in the last 5 years. But yeah, definitely going with like a loud, fun approach. I think now more than ever, there's brands like Live and, Bad Birdie that are going a little bit louder, trying to get away from the just traditional golf brands that are sometimes very plain and boring per se. But yeah, that's, what we're going with. The early feedback from consumers, from courses, it's been extremely positive. So, excited for that and excited to keep pushing here in the near future for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think having like the protein bars in the bag, that's something I kind of been doing for a while. Like, I'm not a big hot dog at the turn guy, just I don't know, they sit a little heavy on the back nine, it makes it hard to keep it going.
Yeah, so it's interesting you guys are bringing this to the table. I mean, honestly, like if I'm driving somewhere and it's late, like I grab a Snickers and a Coke, right? Coke Zero now, right? So I try to like the whole sugar thing. I lost like 75 pounds, like just like not drinking Coke, right? Which is a big deal. But so from a distribution perspective, like how are you guys distributed? Like, is this like out of your house? Like, shout out to Nate at Acorn Hills. He started out of his college dorm, right? So now he has like an employee and all that. So I come from a consumer packaged goods background. That's where I grew up in the tobacco industry. But I'm always interested how you gain distribution and where you guys are at and how people can find you.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think this is week seven that since we've launched. So right now we are self-distributed. We're primarily SoCal based now. I think yesterday we just hit our 10th golf course. So golf courses around Southern California, Bel Air, Hacienda, South Hills, Diamond Bar Golf Course. We're going to be in at PGA West shortly, which is a big one.
Nice.
And then D2C. So our online sales has been doing really well. But
Nice.
not in distribution yet. We are self-distributed, so it's kind of we're fully bootstrapped. Me and George kind of
Love
hustle,
that.
grind on top of everything else we've got going on. So yeah, we're distributing everything ourselves, but looking to get into distribution as soon as possible for sure.
Love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool just getting those connections with the golf courses that quickly, though. I mean, 45 days is not a long time. So to have that, and then, I mean, like you guys even said, like the package is just, it's a cool logo and it catches your eye type of thing. You know, someone sees it and it's different than a Snickers, you know, it's, once someone sees it at a course, you know, I mean, that's huge to have it, rather than on Amazon and stuff like that. But like getting those golfers that are right in the area, that's a big step right there.
Yeah.
Is the bar is it like flatter or is it like
Yeah,
round?
I'll open one up for you, John.
Yeah,
look
TT,
like-
go and give him a, yeah.
I'm
Go give him
literally
a-
buying one right now.
They are good. So they got here last night for me, and I tried them out, and I like that they're like. A lot of those ones are like they're so sugary, and like that's not what you want to keep you going through the round. But and then it's got those it's like what is the milk protein crisps in it
I'll
too?
go into a little bit of the secrets there. Yeah, so we use they're actually whey protein crisps, so whey isolate crisp. Almost think of it like a Rice Krispie. That's inside the bar, gives it that kind of like crunchy brownie taste. Is the funny kind of I guess comparison we've been getting. But all the ingredients, are super clean. And one of the things that I think is a key differentiator for us as well is our manufacturer, when we came to them, they don't do extrusions on the bar. So in other words, like you might see other bars that are kind of dipped in chocolate or like layered on. Ours is flat. And where that kind of gives us an interesting competitive advantage as well is if you take like, I don't know, a regular protein bar or candy bar and our bar and you keep them out in the sun, obviously both bars are going to eventually melt. But because we don't have that top layer, we learned after a couple weekends being in the desert out in Arizona, like our bar actually takes a while to melt, which is really, really good and important because obviously summertime, hot golf, tough course conditions, but like just knowing you can keep that thing out there and it's not going to melt or deteriorate on you is a big win. So we're really proud of like kind of like the way it was shaped. And to the question earlier, yeah, you kind of got this like tougher texture, which is surprising because you feel it and you're like, dude, this is like a hockey puck. But then you bite into it and it's super smooth, easy to chew through, got a little crunch. So we're really happy how it turned out.
Yeah, it's
I
interesting you
literally
say.
just ordered. There's an order. Literally, I'm not going to show all of it. But
I appreciate it.
yeah, for sure.
It's interesting you say that about like the dipped in the chocolate because I said I was coming off the member guest weekend and we had Sunday we played 27 holes, so I had a couple in my bag of a bigger name, not going to name them, but they're coated in chocolate and in that vanilla, and even with an ice pack in my cooler pouch, after that first probably like hole 15, 16, it's all melted off.
Becomes squeezable.
But these are like that brownie with the Rice Krispies in it, like that's like the perfect way I would describe it. And they're good. I like that they're not like super sugary because some of those other ones are more of that candy bar kind of thing than.
So what was the drive behind from a consumer packaged goods, right? CPG perspective, right? You can go out and you can get anything you want, right? You guys worked on this. You wanted it to be exactly what you wanted, what you anticipated it to be, right? What was that process like? And was it like a long drawn out process?
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about kind of like the logo and creative, and then Jake can kind of go into. He was humble at the beginning, but Jake actually competed in a bodybuilding show, won a couple medals there, and that kind of stimulated the ingredient list behind it. But I think when we started with the idea, I think the first thing was build a brand that builds a culture, right? Like before we even came up with the product, the ingredients, we kind of looked at the golf space, what was out there today. And, there's this kind of broader theme going on throughout golf, apparel, and just golf activations that's really like, quote unquote, grow the game. And, with that inclusive type of feel with millennials, Gen Z, and the game getting older, diversified between male and female, we saw an immediate need to build a brand that people can connect with and rep. So like to the point made earlier, I mean, you have these major brands, right? But like how many of these major protein bar brands can you stick on a t-shirt, on a hat? Like not everybody's going to be super fired up to go out and wear, like a Snickers hat or like an RX bar shirt. But if you see something like with the skull, with interesting packaging that's more golf themed, like then you start to get like a little bit more, I guess, intriguing to the general consumer and to the folks who like really want to get passionate about what they're buying, connect with the brand. We saw like an immediate need to build something to fulfill that. So we worked a lot on building kind of a flexible brand logo, packaging design that could flip with different colorways, different flavors that we got in the mix. So we have some exciting stuff coming out in the future that's going to work really nicely with the brand. And I think at the end of the day, knowing that we're able to set up some pop-up activations, we could throw our brand on merch, apparel, hats, t-shirts, canopies, you name it. Like we're really building a strong brand presence that we're proud of. And then on the ingredient side, I'll let Jay talk a little bit there, but we really wanted something that could really pass a clean taste test and not draw any questions of, oh, is it artificial? Is it too sugary? Like, how much can we trust you? But Jake, maybe you want to give a little bit of background of like what you really could and couldn't eat and why you really wanted to go like all natural.
Yeah, like George said a little earlier, so last year and kind of what sparked Par Bar is I've been pretty much addicted to golf for the last like 5 years now or so. But I've always been in the gym, like, and that's besides golf has pretty much been what I do daily. And I competed in a bodybuilding show, and while I was doing that, I was still playing golf. And I just remember like going to these cart girls would come up, at the turn at the pro shop. Like there wasn't even anything that I could consider putting in my body at that time. So it kind of just came to me. I was like, how is there not a healthier alternative to golf? Because, I think about like a Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar started with, they hit the outdoor, the hiking market. Then eventually, they grew the brand to pretty much, your everyday bar consumer. But yeah, that's, pretty much what kickstarted the idea. And then I guess the whole process from start to finish, it was maybe like 13 months. So a little bit over a year. And that's, a lot goes into it. George talked about building the brand. So that was a heavy part of it. But meeting with manufacturers of, the actual product, we wanted to go clean. So the manufacturer that, we ended up going with, that's all they do. They don't do anything processed, anything artificial. So we really like them for that reason. And then, wrappers and, that's its own battle. Then we had to get FDA clearance. So definitely a learning experience for us, great experience. But about 13 months from start to pretty much launching the product. And here we are today.
Yeah. And it was the last thing I'll add too, it was pretty cool, like being able to go through like the different taste test iterations, starting to get us some formulas, really putting like neither of us have a food or health science background, but having to actually like learn more and kind of like figure out, hey, at the end of the day, like we're going to be the only two selling these things. Like you better know what's in your bar, what these ingredients mean, what they do, what they're used for. So being able to work with a manufacturer that could kind of like handhold us through that process and allow us to actually like know our brand, know our product is really important. So we're really happy with them. They source everything in the US. That was also important to us to make sure like it's a trusted label. It's a name that people can Google, they can research and kind of figure out, oh, these guys are really legit. Like, there's no lies on this wrapper told. So like Jake mentioned, between that and then figuring out packaging, formats, distribution, bar sizing, like it's such a tough journey, but I think it's so rewarding at the end of the day to see a product and say, wow, like from start to finish, we had, full control and full concentration over every single component that we wanted in this.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. The whole, like just hearing the story of the product development, because we've had on golf club companies before and club cleaners and all this stuff, and like they have their cool thing of hitting shots, but we also had on, I saw John was drinking one, the course record. We had these guys on a couple weeks ago, and they were telling us about like the taste testing and drinking them on the course. So like having a drink or a food to try rather than a club has got to be even more fun than hitting wedges.
I think for us it was like 7 or 8 kind of taste test products or versions before we pretty much green lighted it. So yeah, that was a fun process for sure.
Thanks for watching today's episode.
To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogies on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.